Hello, my name is Dr. Steele, and welcome to Steele Mathematics, where lessons in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, Pre-Calculus, and Calculus are taught. And today, we are going to talk about synthetic division. Now, the thing about synthetic division, it's all about the coefficients of polynomials. So the variables, they're put on the back burner, basically. Now, synthetic division, what are actually the requirements? First, the divisor must be in the form x minus n. The divisor must be a binomial, where the leading coefficient is 1. Next, in your dividend, if the leading term or the term with the highest power of the variable exists, then all the other terms must exist. I will give you a better idea of what this is talking about when I show you the examples. So here are the examples. On number 1, we got v to the third minus 3v to the second minus 24v minus 23 divided by v minus 7. Okay, so here's what you do to use synthetic division. First, you'll draw a half box like this. And what you're going to put in that half box is the opposite of the constant term of your divisor. If that's negative 7, then you put in positive 7. On the right of the half box, you will put all the coefficients of your dividend. The leading coefficient is 1, then negative 3, then negative 24, then negative 23. So again, I want to stress that synthetic division is all about the coefficients. We do not worry about the variables until we get to the end. So the next thing you do is you draw a line, but you're going to leave a space. And underneath the last number is what we call a remainder box. Okay, so let me write this down. This is called the remainder box. And in the box is where the remainder is. So now that we have the setup, here's how it goes. You bring down the first number. You bring down the 1. Then what you do is you're going to do 7 times 1, which is 7, and you're going to put it underneath the 3. Then you do negative 3, and I'll write an arrow here. You do negative 3 plus 7, which is 4. And next you're going to do 7 times 4, which is 28, in which you will put underneath the negative 24. And negative 24 plus 28 is 4. Then you do 7 times 4, which is 28. You're going to put it underneath the negative 23. And negative 23 plus 28 is 5. These three numbers right here represent the coefficients of your quotient. So here's how you write it. In your dividend, the highest power of v is 3. So therefore, you're going to start one power lower, meaning you're going to start with v to the second. The coefficient is 1, so that's 1 v to the second plus 4v plus 4. Now, as you can see, I counted down the powers of v. And what will happen to the 5? 5 is your remainder. Therefore, you will write 5 over your dividend, which is v minus 7. And therefore, this is your solution. All right, next we got 10k to the third minus 54k squared minus 31k minus 23 over k minus 6. And this is just another notation for division. Therefore, you're going to draw your remainder box, and you're going to put in positive 6 because this is opposite negative 6. On the right of your half box, you will write in the coefficients of your dividend. You will draw a line underneath it, but leave a space. And you're going to draw your remainder box underneath your last number. Bring down the first number. 6 times 10 is 60. Negative 54 plus 60 is 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Negative 31 plus 36 is 5. And 6 times 5 is 30. Negative 23 plus 30 is 7. So the 10, the 6, and the 5 represent the coefficients of your quotients. Therefore, since the highest power of the dividend is k to the third, you can start off with one power lower. So that's k squared plus 6k plus 5. And 7 is the remainder. Therefore, it will be 7 over k minus 6. All right, next we got 8k to the third plus 24k squared minus 10 divided by k plus 3. Okay, now, here's what I mean by if you got 8k to the third, you must have a k to the second term and a k term, which is what we don't have, and a 10. That means if you don't see a k term, then you should see 0k right in here. Therefore, you would draw your remainder box. This is positive 3. Therefore, what goes in the half box is negative 3. Next, the coefficients of your dividend are 8, 24, 0, and negative 10. You draw your line, draw your remainder box underneath the last number. You're going to bring down 8. Negative 3 times 8 is negative 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. We got negative 3 times 0 is 0. And 0 plus 0 is 0. And negative 3 plus 0, negative 3 times 0 is 0. Negative 10 plus 0 is negative 10. So therefore, this will be 8k squared. And since the other coefficients are 0, you're going to write minus because the remainder is negative 10 over k plus 3. All right, now let's look at number 4. We have 63v to the third minus 60v squared minus 54v minus 13 divided by 9v plus 3. Now remember, in your dividend, it must be a binomial where the leading coefficient is 1. But as you can see here, the leading coefficient is 9. So if that happens, you're going to divide everything by 9. Divide everything by 9. And we're going to rewrite this. This would be 7v to the third minus 20 over 3 v squared. We went ahead and reduced it. Minus 6v minus 13 over 9 divided by v plus 1/3. Okay, so as you can see, we rewritten the problem dividing everything by 9 so that the leading coefficient of your divisor can be 1. So now we can do the synthetic division. What goes in a half box is negative 1/3. On the right of it is 7, negative 20 over 3, minus 6v, negative 13 over 9. Draw your line and draw your remainder box. Bring down to 7. Negative 1/3 times 7 is negative 7 over 3. And negative 20 over 3 minus 7 over 3 is negative 27 over 3, which is negative 9. Negative 1/3 times negative 9 is 3. And I meant to erase this v here. Negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. And negative 1/3 times negative 3 is 1. And negative 13 over 9 minus 1 is negative 4 over 9. So the remainder is negative 4 over 9. Therefore, this is 7v squared minus 9v minus 3 minus, now this is negative 4 over 9 over v plus 1/3. So now what we're going to do is we can rewrite this part so that there's no fractions. So we're going to rewrite 7v to the second minus 9v minus 3 minus. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to multiply this by 9 over 9. So 4 over 9 times 9 is 4. 9 times v is 9v. And 9 times 1/3 is 3. So this is your solution. So as you can see, synthetic division is all about the coefficients. You're using the coefficients to determine what your quotient will be. All you do is you look at your dividend, you're going to write the opposite of the constant in your half box, and you're going to write the coefficients of your dividend on the right and go from there. And at the end, you find out what the coefficients of your quotients are, and you're going to write the quotient by starting a power below. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day.